Find somewhere cozy to sit, get a nice pair of headphones, maybe some popcorn. This is going to be a long one. I'm going to watch the whole music video of The Story of One Sky, an original composition by the international singer Dimash Kudaibergen. Then I'm going to go back and do a vocal breakdown of some of the things I hear him doing vocally in it. This song was the most voted for song in the poll that I posted on the community page for the next Dimash song I should react to. I was also recommended that I need to watch the music video before I react to any live performances of it because of the context of the song. So that's what I'm doing now. Normally I like to react to live performances of singers, especially ones like Dimash, who are incredible virtuoso singers. But it's very clear to me that the dears, the fans of Dimash in my subscriber community, are excited about me seeing this song as the next song on my journey of understanding Dimash, who he is as a singer as well as who he is as a person. I love this idea of creating community and celebrating art that is about the evolution of human consciousness, the evolution of compassion and global humanity. I think that's an amazing, amazing thing. So I'm going to listen all the way through with an open heart and open ears, and then go back and celebrate some of the things that I hear him doing. My name's Tim. I've been a vocal instructor now for the past 24 years. I've also been a professional opera singer, musical theater singer. I've done pop, rock, jazz, experimental electronic, and dance music. I've really been as a performer all over the map, and now I get to celebrate all of my understanding of performing these styles in my teaching. And if you want to find out more about me, here's my website. I have an amazing team of voice teachers. We teach in the Manhattan tri-state area, as well as we have students all over the world. So if you're looking to study voice, don't be afraid to reach out. Here we go. Without further ado, let's jump right into this beautiful piece together. Wow.
Believe what's happening at all. My pulse crazy, we reborn to fall. We are the reason we're causing all that pain, to the secret one that gives us life. Billions of hearts, billions of cells and souls and dreams, billions of lives shouldn't ever turn to senseless horror, so disengage.
my country, but I don't deprive you of your freedom. The world is open for me, and I want to give it to you.
Last chance is here. Can we balance all that of your regret? Our future is impossible to say. So when all the words and Bibles falling, we decide to stop the training. We decide to follow their light. We are making
only in the hearts of the strongest. You must be strong to accept freedom and bring it to the world. United, we will enter every city, every house. We will lead everyone who is ready to start a new life. Anyone who resists will not find a place next to us.
War is the way to unite people.
Learn to share again. Learn to share again their love, not share. To leap again. We have passed the moment of invention. Wanting the peace. We have to step. Time is up.
Oh my God. All right. That was heavy. That was what an amazing, powerful piece of art that was. I'm still processing it, and I'm going to be processing that for a minute. Wow. Just the first thing that comes to my mind is just thinking about what a beautiful soul he is, that he's choosing this as a piece of art that he's going to celebrate on his international platform as being a singer. The biggest concept that this music video evoked in me is a concept that I read in the book, The Hunter and Gatherer's Guide to the 21st Century, and many other books. This idea that if we're constantly fighting so hard to protect our own over being a part of a global species, a global society, then we'll continue to have these types of wars. And eventually human consciousness needs to evolve to the place where we stop playing that game, because it is a feudal game. And I love that Dimash is choosing to create art in a global sense around that topic, as he is an international global artist. It's such a beautiful message for his platform. I'm going to go back and do some vocal breakdown stuff now of some of the singing that I heard, but I do understand that this was more about me hearing his soul and you wanting me to hear a piece of art of his that you're really proud of, that you feel represents him. And I completely am grateful that you all turned me on to this piece and that this was the next piece that I heard of Dimash. I'm just so humbled by the beauty of his graciousness and generosity of spirit. Now, that being said, there are some amazing vocal things that are happening in this song, and I'm just going to point out a few of those things that I hear. I also think that I am going to go back and react to a live performance of this song as well, because I'd like to get even more granular into what he's doing so that we can watch how he's doing it with his face and mouth together and all that kind of stuff. But let's go back and let me point out a couple things I'm hearing vocally now. Now, I'm sure in this music video you all understand all of the symbolism and imagery that's happening in the music video and how it ties into the words that he wrote. I really can't break down all of that now because this is already going to be such a long video, just me breaking down some of the vocal technical aspects of what he's doing. Please feel free, though, to leave in the comments any of the interpretive things that you'd like me to understand from the video. I'm sure that you have a lot to say about that, and I'm happy to read that. I do think down the road I'm going to do an extended version of this where I just sit down and really break down everything, both from a lyrical standpoint, a symbolic standpoint, as well as a vocal technique standpoint, but not on this video. In this one, I just want to get into a couple of the amazing vocal things that I just heard.
Can't believe what's happening at all. Hyper's crazy, we report to fall.
All right, this tone quality that he has in the beginning is beautiful. Notice how light he is. He couldn't be quieter. This is so quiet. He's got a slightly gapped open vocal fold sound, which gives that breathy airflow sound. There's a little bit of, he's doing a little bit of vocal fry into the phrases here and there to give a little bit of angst and grit. There's very little use of vibrato, very small pronunciation, not a lot of animation to the way that he's forming the consonants and syllables. Really beautiful, intimate singing here.
We are the reason we're causing all that pain, to the secret one that gives us life.
He's so good at dynamic variation in his singing. Being big sometimes, being quiet sometimes. I know that grit's been a topic because I reacted to him performing Lose Control, and I have to say, there was some insane grit that he did at the end. It was so good. I'm going to talk about that later on.
Billions of hearts, billions of cells and souls.
Notice he's coming out a little bit here, a little more chest voice energy.
And dreams. Billions of lives shouldn't ever turn to senseless horror, so tears and blood.
He transitions so brilliantly through his registers. Did you hear? Da, da, da. Did you hear how he went up into that upper register so seamlessly, so fluently? Oh, what a facility for singing coordination.
Shouldn't ever turn to senseless horror.
Oh.
So disengaged.
Beautiful. Notice how he's playing with his vocal fold closure here. Sometimes he's sometimes he's got a more breathy open vocal fold sound, and then then he closes it up. Such a cool vocal technical thing to do. It's very hard to do coordination wise.
They should fall.
As a ruler, my task is to keep order and protect my country. But I don't deprive you of your freedom.
This is such an interesting idea to have him speaking, this dictator, this ruler speaking over top of the singing that we're listening to. It's so jarring and just interruptive, and it's on purpose. I know he's doing that on purpose. It's such a wild idea. I've never seen anyone interrupt the beauty of a song with something so harsh like that. It's just happening in parallel to the singing that's happening. What an interesting concept. Wow, it's cool.
The world is open for me, and I want to give it to you.
This image of the war against the beautiful contrast of the warmth and innocence and purity of the song. Such a beautiful idea. This reminds me of some of those old movies of war. Like, I think there was a Vietnam War movie where Louis Armstrong was singing, "What a Wonderful World," and you could hear that contrasting these horrible war images. This reminds me a little bit of that concept of taking something that's horrible from a visual standpoint and putting a sweet, beautiful song over top of it to sort of show the absurdity of the conflict. You know, this feels a bit like that to me. And we have this intimate vocal tone, this huskiness, this lightness, a decent amount of vibrato here. He didn't have vibrato in the beginning when he was doing the light sound. Now we're getting a little bit more of it here.
Our future, is it possible to say?
Hear that breath through that top note there? That breath through the top note, that's called auditory roughness. When we get, hey, when we get a lot of airflow through our sound, this is a very common technical thing to do as a contemporary commercial music singer. And he's such a stylistic shapeshifter, he's putting it in certain spots. Listen for that airflow allowance. Hear that?
Our future, is it possible to say?
Even more.
So when all the birds and neighbors falling, we decide to stop the training.
Then he focused it. He had this breathy, airflowy sound, and then then he went, ooh. Then he focused it. Did you hear that little change? He is so coordinated. Here it's breathy, still airflow. Now it's focused. Wow. He's such a master of controlling his TA dominance, is what we call it in voice pedagogy. TA means thyroarytenoid muscle. The thyroarytenoid muscle is the one responsible for the brassiness in your tone. He sings super fluty and light sometimes, and then he flips into activating his thickener muscle in such coordinated ways. He'll go light with a little more brass, a little more brass, a little more brass, a little less brass. He's back and forth in his thickening and thinning of his voice like an absolute master. Now he's opened his throat. Oh, he's got a little bit more baritone in his sound. Notice that here. How do we get that sound? We get that sound by lifting our soft palate and keeping our larynx in what I call neutral larynx position. When we sing with a neutral larynx position, like an opera singer, it creates more depth of tone. So when you sing pop stuff, you use what I've coined the phrase, you could say, a movable larynx position. Yeah! When you sing with a movable larynx position, your larynx goes up for high notes and goes down for low notes incrementally based on the pitch. When you sing opera, you don't do that. When you sing opera, your larynx stays in a neutral position whether you're singing high notes or low notes. That's why an opera singer has depth of tone no matter what pitch range they sing in. You can hear Dimash has opened his throat a bit right here. Hear that? Oh. That was some open throat singing. Now that high note right there was not as open-throated as the low register was right there. When he went to that high note, he let some of that openness go and went a little bit more into a contemporary type of high note minus the grit. His larynx elevated slightly there. Listen for that. Good. Oh. Open. That was some great sound right there. So much pressure, so much energy into his upper register. If you're able to get vibrato on a high, brassy power note, then that means it was a freer vocal production than if you can't. I love that when he sings high, brassy power notes, he's still able to spin it with vibrato. That means that his technique is so free from tension, and he's only engaging the muscles that need to be engaged. Beautiful. Notice his tone is thinning out a little bit. It's getting a little bit lighter. He's getting a little more tenory sounding. The more that he sits up in that way upper register of his voice, that's on purpose. If you're going to sit up there in that register of your voice, you can't be bringing all that heavy weight up there. You've got to let go of the weight as you go up. He's such a master of that, as he is of everything vocally. Hear that? So this is kind of like the meat of the song here. We're in like the song part before we go into the part where they're wandering in the desert and we hear the low, those little Tibetan throat sounds, which I'll get to later. I'm assuming he's making all of the vocal sounds in this, right? Or are there other singers involved? Let me know in the comments. I'm not sure. I haven't really done any deep diving on the background of the production of this. I love these little melismas that he starts doing, which are so cool and intricate, beautiful. Here we go. This part's so interesting and so cool. Hear that? What is happening here? Ah, this is amazing here. Wow. Wow. That part is crazy. He's doing all this like machine gun rapid fire stuff. This is complicated vocal technique stuff to do. I was just demonstrating a little bit of that kind of thing, a little in falsetto. He's doing it full voice with brass and power. That makes it even harder. Anytime that you're adding high energy into your sound, it makes it hard to do fast agility things. That he's able to move this fast with that much brass and power in his voice is wild. It's absolutely wild. And to make that sound, you've got to do a few different things. You've got to quickly be able to you have to be able to wiggle your larynx quickly. You also have to be able to resist the air with your vocal folds and then let it sort of pump open. It's like it's a combination of the vocal folds releasing and grabbing and the larynx shifting position quickly that gives that fast agility sound that he's doing right there. Listen back for that. That is some of the most advanced vocal coordination in the world of singing out there. Like, it's crazy, crazy stuff that he's doing. Listen back for that. Wow. Wow. What is he doing? Oh my God, it's so good. That's the sound. All right, what does that sound that he's doing? Okay, it's almost like a fast glottal stop and start combined with a wiggling of the larynx. Wow. Now he's doing it up in that register of his voice. Now we're getting into some of that grit singing that he was doing. This was gritty, definitely. He activated his false vocal folds for sure right there, which is you do that with compression or slightly cinching the pharynx, which is the space above the larynx. Wow. Now, can he do the Tibetan throat sound? That's a really wild sound to make. I figured it out because I had a student once who was a beatboxer, and he could do that low stuff, and I thought, oh my God, if I have a student who can do a crazy sound, I've got to figure out how to do that crazy sound too. So I learned how to do it myself. It's a fascinating sound to learn how to make. A lot of the muscles that you need to use to make your voice gritty are the same muscles you need to use to make that Tibetan throat sound. You literally are just tilting your arytenoids in on each other and getting them to vibrate off of each other while creating a sustained phonation of the vocal folds. It's wild. Is he doing this sound here? Is that him? Does he do those sounds too? That would blow my mind if he does those sounds too. If he can sing as operatic as he does and as high in his voice, but he can also access that, that would blow my mind. If you know if that's him, please let me know in the comments. That's a little bit of that Tibetan throat type of stuff down there, except a little more airflowy, not so focused as I was doing. Okay, so what's going on here? Is he changing his voice here into more of a feminine tone, or is this a female singer? I don't think I can tell. because he's such a vocal shapeshifter. This could be his voice. I'm assuming it's his voice, but let me know in the comments if this is someone else here. Is that just him doing that? Sounds like it could be someone else. Yeah, I think it's another singer here. Now I'm not sure. Now I don't think it's another singer. I think that's him. I definitely think that's him. What? Sounds like a coloratura soprano up there. I know some of you mentioned that his mom was a coloratura soprano. Is that right? Wow. Notice how he's letting go of all of the openness up in that stratospherically high register he's in up there. You have to let go of the depth of tone when you get that high. It's going to have to get thin and light. It's so good. Wow. Those notes on the top are so next level. Wow. I'd love to get more in depth on what he's doing in that part. I'll do that in another breakdown later on some other time, but I just want to say that is some incredible singing that he's doing right there. Some incredibly complicated technical singing. Yeah! Goosebumps. I don't know if you can see them. Oh my God. Okay, so you know how we were talking about grit? Like, does Dimash sing with grit? That's grit. That is insane grit. That's like Robert Plant, heavy metal singer level grit on those high notes. What is happening? Dimash. Oh my God. So wild. That I wouldn't have predicted that he could go there based on the couple other things that I had heard him sing. But you all keep telling me, just wait, Tim, just wait until you see. And I definitely heard it right there. Wow. Mind blown. Mind absolutely blown. So that's crazy hard to do, obviously. And what makes it also crazy hard to do is that the same guy that sings the opera high notes, the same guy that does these crazy low sounds, is also able to do that. Wow. Wow. And then pull out of the grit and go right into that thinned out falsetto, compressed. I call that sound a compressed falsetto on the top that he just went into right there. To be able to go from the high pressure grit brassy tone into his compressed falsetto like that is insane. I have to listen to that transition one more time. Okay, so there's so much to talk about here. I feel like I barely could scratch the surface on getting in depth on all of the things that I'm hearing and seeing here, but I'm so grateful that you all turned me on to watching this. This has been an incredible experience. This is, you know, the biggest thing is not as much the vocal technical stuff at the moment for me. It's really the power of this message and the power of the soul of this amazing human being, that he's taking his platform and he's using it, saying such important things for the human species. Like, I am really just such a fan of him and fan of his humanity, and blown away by his ability to sing. Let's face it. There is so much cool stuff going on with the singing here too. So I think down the road, once I get into doing extended cuts of things, that I could see myself doing a long, maybe even a live listen through with a breakdown at some point down the road. And I'll just stop and start and talk about everything that comes to my mind. But I'm trying to be careful with the length of this because it's already going to be crazy long. Thank you so much for turning me on to this. I am every time I hear Dimash, I'm a bigger fan of his. So it's been great connecting with all of you dears, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Cheers.